So today I revisited the story of Gideon and the 300 and went up against the Midianites. And, just thinking on that whole story, the 300 were chosen out of his people, which were the least of all of the children of Israel. And Gideon was and his people were hiding in the rocks because the Midianites come in and were just eating up the harvest. Well, this whole story has got a parable within itself. I mean, look at what God did. He said, I'm going to use a small amount of the least of the people to destroy the Midianites out from among you. They ate up all the good and were leaving Israel to starve. I'm pretty sure that this right here has got prophetic implications of what there is to come. I wouldn't want to go up against a God that used the swords of the Midianites to kill their own people. Caused great confusion amongst them, to where they attacked each other, and all that God did was use the soldiers of Gideon, the 300, to frighten the people instead of actually using them to attack. If you look at the story, it all speaks about how God Almighty will use the weapons that are formed against him and his people to destroy themselves. So, with all that's going on in the world and the confusion that was brought on, that it's got a lot to talk about the things that are coming. So just keep that in mind as we watch the things going on in this world. I guess the other big point about that story of Gideon is that God promises to restore what the chewing locust has devoured, and all that has been taken from his people. And there's a lot that people don't realize that had happened. The reason that Israel was scattered, and the context is that Israel had done a thing, and that's got to do a lot about the Septuagint, the things that went on in Egypt, and the writings that came back from Egypt. So keep your mind open. Pray the Almighty shows you, because in these times restoration will come, and he's going to use the least of all his people to bring that forward. Just like in that story of Gideon and his 300, some people knelt down to drink out of that river, but he chose the people that lapped. When you lap something, that's like a dog. I mean, those people look weird, probably, dipping down and stooping down, drinking water. And it wasn't but 300 that did that, and he sent the other 9,000 something away. So it's got something to say about who the Almighty chooses to do great things. And it's not of them that he does it. It is of his own power, that nobody should boast. A lot of people use that narrative to say that, they were the most valiant because they didn't bow themselves down and take their eyes off the horizon, like they were standing ready at all times to fight. But I don't think that'd be the case. I think it's, he used the people that everybody else thinks is strange. Everybody else that talks different. Everybody else that does things different. He used the least of all for his purpose. Hope y'all blessed, and remember to be faithful. Call upon the Almighty, and he'll start teaching you. Be blessed, brothers and sisters.